It's really great. It's not just for protocol.
Surrounded by airplanes, weaponry, and different sorts of Russian products, African delegations overwhelmed, yet some stress the need for a balanced partnership.
We need to negotiate very wisely the collaboration with Russia. We don't want to change one colonizer by another. We need to have a fair connection, fair collaboration, and we need to be clear about all the goals we have.
What's good, African family? Welcome back to the African Wahala. So we have a Russia-Africa summit currently going on. Well, it took place about 2 days ago in St. Petersburg in Russia, where 49 African countries sent their representatives to Russia to, have a meeting and talk about how both lands, the land of Russia and Africa, can move forward. It's a good thing, if you ask me. I have no issues with my people trying to collaborate with others for the benefit of everybody involved. But that man that just spoke has pretty much summarized my personal thoughts and opinions. We have to collaborate on an equal playing field. We also do not want to exchange one colonizer for another, because there is something huge currently playing out. And what it is that Africans are sick and tired of our relationship with the Western world. It's been ongoing for, centuries. It has never been to the benefit of us. We've remained the poverty capital of the world. We've remained underdeveloped, having back-to-back political and economic instability in many countries. It's just a mess in many countries. For example, we're going to talk about Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is one of the countries that sent its representatives to Russia to meet with, the government officials of Russia, including Vladimir Putin. Ibrahim Traore is the current military leader of Burkina Faso. He's a 35-year-old guy. I like him. I like Ibrahim. He seems like he has genuine intentions, but that's not how it turns out, because when the military forcefully takes over countries, it usually ends up in tears. The military guys that are in the leadership, they usually end up turning out to be corrupt. They usually end up becoming tyrants, trample upon the rights of the people, and the people will remain poor. That's just how it has always been. I'm talking about in Africa, especially West Africa. But listen to what Traore had to say, just a little bit of a snippet of what he said to Vladimir Putin, the leader of Burkina Faso.
Des médias occidentaux qui continuent donc de véhiculer ce genre de messages. Donc c'est un paramètre à prendre en compte dans la diplomatie. Il se peut que dans les jours à venir, ce pays connaisse des sanctions. Et nous devons de les soutenir tant que leur direction sera donc la même chose que nous souhaitons, c'est-à-dire un monde multipolaire vers leur souveraineté, et en tout cas changer carrément de partenaire. Parce qu'actuellement, nous menons la même lutte contre le terrorisme avec ces États, et du fait que nos partenaires sont différents, on est bien voisins, mais on n'arrive pas à collaborer. Et on espère qu'avec la nouvelle donne, on pourra se soutenir. Beaucoup d'échanges ont eu lieu donc entre ma délégation et les sectoriels donc de la Fédération de Russie. À ces échanges, comme vous l'avez signifié, les échanges commerciaux sont assez faibles entre nous et on espère donc les voir remonter rapidement. Déjà, avant qu'on arrive ici, il y a eu un accord qui a été signé entre une société russe et des entrepreneurs burkinabés dans le cadre de l'exportation donc de produits comme la mangue. Avant, ça s'exportait. Cette année, nous avons rétabli l'aéroport de la région productrice. Et les mangues s'exportaient vers l'Allemagne et la Néerlande et tout, qui réexportaient donc vers la Russie ici. Donc, nous avons jugé nécessaire donc d'établir ce pont aérien pour.
You know what? This is a little bit difficult. So I'm just going to summarize what Ibrahim Traore was saying. He was basically explaining to the Russian government people that they have some agricultural products that would be beneficial for Russia, and in exchange they would like Russian entrepreneurs to come invest in nuclear energy in Burkina Faso to, build, construct nuclear power plants in Burkina Faso that will potentially generate energy, electricity, that can be sold in the sub-region of West Africa, because we clearly don't have enough electricity. I mean, these dealings, in my opinion, they sound a little bit, there are things you can pick out in them as usual. First and foremost, me personally, I do not trust Russia. Okay. The same way I do not trust the West, I have zero trust for the West. Obviously, the West, our relationship with the West, when I say the West, I'm talking about the United States, United Kingdom, France, Western Europe. The relationship between the West and Africa has never been to the benefit of Africa, period. Now that Africans are realizing this is not to our benefit, they've decided to partner up with other world leaders like China and Russia. Now, if we are smart, we have to come to the table bringing something of substance. We can't come to the table anymore expecting to be the junior brothers so that the big brothers can treat us right. And we've already started on the wrong foot, if you ask me, because in a Russia-Africa summit, it should have been hosted in the African Union. A Russia-Africa summit or a US-Africa summit, a China-Africa summit, whatever summit these countries want to have with Africa, it should be held in Ethiopia. The African Union has a headquarters. It doesn't make any sense for 49 African leaders to travel all the way to Russia to meet up with a couple of Russian government officials. That was the same thing they did in December 2022, US-Africa Summit. A bunch of jokers, hundreds of them, they spent millions of dollars to travel all the way to Washington, D.C. to meet up with maybe 20 American government officials and the president. It makes no sense. It makes us look like children. But anyways, most importantly, we have to be unemotional. We have to control our emotions in dealing with any foreign entity, whether it's Russia, China, United States, West, whatever. Because at the end of the day, every group is looking out for their own growth, development, and their benefits. That's what they're looking for. So if we are going into these relationships from an emotional standpoint, because we are sick and tired of dealing with the West, so we've decided, you know what, we don't like the West. We're going to go join Russia and China. We have to be intelligent about it. The representatives of Africa in all these summits, they are also people that can't be fully trusted. These African politicians cannot be trusted. So this is a big risk, but it's all good. We're going to keep watching. We're going to keep criticizing. Thankfully, social media can help us spread information to more people and have them hold their horses. Stop rushing into partnerships and relationships with other people simply because you've been abused from another relationship that you're coming from. We have to be extremely careful, extremely equitable. What we bring to the table has to make sense. To me, it doesn't make sense that this Burkina Faso guy, Ibrahim Traore, wants the Russians to build a nuclear power plant in exchange for mangoes and avocados. It makes no sense to me, but it is what it is. That's what they bring to the table for now. Let's see how it turns out.